Hello, welcome everybody. And on behalf of the Cosmic Tower USA project, we have Harald Thiers with us here today to talk about the Cosmic Tower project. Thank you, Harald.
Hi, Nico, and nice to meet you, and welcome to our customers.
Yeah, so it's exciting. The first container arrived a few days ago, and now all the towers are in the mail, so people are going to be receiving their new beings shortly, which is a very exciting milestone for us. So in today's this recording, we're actually going to ask some of the questions that people have sent us in the United States. But first, what I would like to talk to you about is a little bit the expectations around the Cosmic Tower. What can people expect when they receive their Cosmic Tower?
I would say not too much. We should approach it in a different way. The less you expect, the better it is, because when people have a lot of expectations and they don't understand the concept of the Cosmic Tower, how it's working, then they may be disappointed. Because the Cosmic Tower is a tool that delivers pure life energy. And this additional energy that we consume will be used by the body first for the most important places and not for the expectation of the people. Maybe they have some pain at the foot. The Cosmic Tower would not start there. The Cosmic Tower would maybe start with the immune system or with the blood system or many other things, because the problem with the foot occurred due to previous other fundamental problems. And that's why everything goes step by step, but according to the priority list of the body.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. And of course, initially, there can also be a reaction for people, right? Because a detoxification might take place.
Yeah, we experience this with many people, and because the Cosmic Tower has a lot of energy. So when there's a lot of energy and the toroidal field is cutting down the bad cluster structure of water, that means the water gets more and more liquid than it was before. And when the water becomes more liquidity, then it goes more into the smallest capillary areas where it couldn't enter before. And when it can go in there, it has a possibility to flush out the dirt in between there, in this smallest capillaries where it couldn't go in before. So and therefore additional poisonous particles or whatever, inner layers of blood vessels and so on, can be removed, detoxified, but they will brought into circulation inside the body. So when the things are circulating, and when people have a weak immune system, but a lot of poisonous particles in their body collected over the years, then of course the body might have difficulties to compensate this much during the first hours or days. And it takes a certain time until the body can get rid of the majority of this poison or dirt or whatever toxic particles. So, but when people have a strong immune system and low amounts of toxicity in the body and in the blood vessels, then nothing happens. They don't have any first reaction effect. This is just due to this additional detoxification. And also the Cosmic Tower is able to deliver a lot of frequencies of light. And this way, many blockages in the body can be also removed. So and then this removal of blockages leads to a better circulation in the body. So the body has also the possibility to fix certain blockages that were there before. And many people have a lot of blockages due to all the environmental situations. And when there is any way blocked in the body has maybe 5 or 10 alternative ways. And when the 100 processes blocked or run by alternative ways, then the Cosmic Tower comes and delivers maybe the frequencies for the correct ways. So that means there's a huge reprogram of all the energetic systems in the body. And this can also take a certain time. But that's not harmful. That's actually the idea that should help the people to get back to the original status of the body, of the energy system, and also to clean the body with a detoxification. But when it's too quickly or too much, people can also communicate with the cosmic tower and ask for a little bit slower progress, or maybe one-day break, or something like this. That's a good thing compared to any technical device you would switch off, but here you can communicate with it.
Yes, and that's, I think, is a very important aspect of the cosmic power. We're dealing with a conscious being. So the communication is really important, and also the guidance that people can receive.
Yeah, communication is the key for the most, the best, the optimum use of the cosmic tower. Yeah, when you don't communicate, the cosmic tower is doing just the fundamental work, good air, good water, supporting the human body and so on. But you can get much, much more, because the cosmic tower can also enable many things. But it's not working like a genie out of the bottle, that you have 3 wishes free and everything will be fulfilled. The key is always the own task of life, your own spiritual day, your own purpose here on earth. And this will be supported. Anything that would fit into this category, there you can get a lot of support. But when people have just ego wishes or wishes for more money or whatever, that doesn't help the spiritual development. This is, of course, not the priority of the cosmic tower. Yes. Therefore, certain things people might get support, but also to keep in mind, when people ask for some support, you get a lot of, almost always a lot of hints. That means the cosmic tower can take you physically and bring you there to a place where you should go, but they can send you messages. That you maybe meet 3 people a week, and they are telling you, oh, there is this new house with a new concept there. That was very interesting, and when you heard it the 3rd time, you should maybe think about, was it the message by the cosmic tower to go there and to follow this hints or this guidance. And then you go there and follow this guidance and watch for guidance what really happens in your life. You can, like you're hold it on your, someone holds you on his hands, and guides you really there. That's amazing.
Yes, and it's a cosmic tower that also makes this guidance available now, right? Because of the raising of the energy.
Yes.
Right? The higher dimensions can actually.
Now the problem with guidance was always a problem here on Earth, because creation actually is built like a family. You have parents, you have a creator who created human beings and gave a part of his soul into our human being body, made available to us. So it means we are part of our creator, and our creator is actually looking for us, watching us, helping us, guiding us, and so on. And many people were coming down from higher dimensions, even here to Earth, but also some people are very new here on Earth, and the higher dimensions are helping them with guidance and enabling them or sending them hints in order that energy field will grow and that their consciousness will be growing. So, and therefore, this guidance is supplied always from the higher dimension. But in order to do this guidance, they need energy. But energy from the 3rd dimension. When we are living here in the 3rd dimension, that someone will call us or whatever, or hand the newspaper to us, or this idea, you need energy of the 3rd dimension. But when we get support from the higher dimension, let's say from the 5th, 7th, or 9th dimension, then those beings living there have not the energy available of the 3rd dimension. So therefore, they depend on the energy of nature. And in order to enable guidance, they are asking nature for energy. Yeah, but nature has a problem, too much destruction. Yeah, and when I started this work actually with my son 17 years ago, we checked that time how much energy is there on Earth in order to enable everybody guidance. And the answer from the spiritual world was just 38%. So it means not everybody can get full 100% guidance. So it means certain things are really guided. These are not any coincidences, but many other things are really coincidences. Yeah, and what did the spiritual world do when there was limited energy? They had actually concentrated on people who were following their path of life, who were doing something for mankind and for other people, and not just thinking for themselves. How can they spend whatever amounts of money or become very rich or whatever, just private interests. Yeah, they or someone only looking football and drinking his alcohol, and that was life. Yeah, so didn't go too much guidance energy, but more to other people who were bringing mankind forward. So, and when you consider that nature got more and more and more destroyed within the last 17 years, and more population, mankind is growing a lot. So it means this amount of energy to guide all people is maybe even more and more reduced. So, and therefore, the cosmic tower can enable tremendous support and help, because when this energy problem was here occurring on Earth, many highly spiritual souls came down on Earth. Yeah, they incarnated in a human body. And the problem was, also they were hoping to keep their huge energy field from the higher dimension and all their knowledge and staying connected to the higher dimension. But when those small babies came to Earth, they were welcomed in apostrophe with a vaccination, or 6 times vaccination things and so on, or with microwave heated food, or with cooked food, or with whatever artificial replacements instead of mother milk, and so on, or just a short time of lactating the babies, and so on. And therefore, the energy amount of the baby was shrinking. And due to all the bad food when the people were grown up, the energy field was really not big. Maybe in the higher dimensions they had many hundreds or 1,000 meters or kilometers even energy field, and here on Earth maybe 2 meters. So, but what could you do with the energy field of 2 meters here on Earth, even when you have a good connection to the higher dimension? But also the connection to the higher dimension is limited when your health is going down and so on, and also when you see as a baby or as a small child invisible things, you tell to your parents, and your parents will tell you, oh, sorry, no, there is no unicorn in this corner. Yeah, you are really, we need to go to a doctor when you see this hallucinogenic appearances and so on. Now, that means, therefore, many small children are cutting away their connection to the higher dimension. And that problem led to the situation that many highly spiritual beings came down on Earth with best intentions, but they failed. And upstairs they were not anymore available, yet downstairs they really couldn't do a lot with this low energy, and they lost connection to the higher dimension. And this whole situation could be changed, totally changed, using the cosmic tower. Because such a soul of the cosmic tower, with each cosmic tower, there are connected 3 souls. Each of the souls could stay in the higher dimension, but due to a connection of the cosmic tower, it could use directly Earth of the 3rd dimension. And much bigger or more energy than maybe in a human body. Because the big cosmic towers can build up energy fields of hundreds of kilometers. For human beings, it's difficult to create such an energy field. And this way, from the higher dimension, where you have all this overview on the lower dimension, there you see what needs to be done, where is a problem, where is maybe a deadly accident, where should go a hint, or where should go preventive energy, or some other guidance and influences, then they could work directly here on Earth. as if they would have incarnated in a human body. The same thing, but with much more energy and not with the risk that their incarnation is a waste of energy or not successful. That is an amazing thing that we get actually highest spiritual people next to us into our life. And we could ask them and get hints and support and whatever, or energy or healing or whatever. Many things are possible. Yeah.
Yes, it's beautiful. Thank you. And we have some questions here from the people in the United States that I would like to ask you. Would a large tower provide protection as long as you are within its radius, or should you really also take another smaller one with you when you go outside of your home?
Yeah, the problem is that we have more and more radiation everywhere. They are putting up more 5G towers, more smart meters everywhere, and whatever. The harmful energies are growing tremendously. And also they're switching more the energy higher, and they try to put up now 6G, 7G. These kinds are already prepared, and many routers and the flat connected to a glass fiber cable. And people are asking, is it 5G? No. Glass fiber cable has nothing to do with 5G. But in the end, they get a router with 5G in their living room. And that means they have a mobile phone tower in their living room, not a kilometer away. That's the difference. So, and therefore, the energies are really very harmful. Microwave radiation is a deadly radiation. There are microwave weapons available, killing people without a projectile, without a physical part coming out of the rifle or pistol. And when we get this radiation from the mobile phone tower, it's destructing our water structure in the body. And as you know from Professor Gerald Pollack and his book, The Fourth Phase of Water, we know that any electricity or life energy actually is produced from hexagonal structured water. And microwave is really destroying hexagonal structured water. And therefore you can kill a person with a microwave weapon. Cosmic tower can prevent this, but when you have a protection energy field, this destruction can be prevented. But when people go outside their house or flat, they are everywhere surrounded by many radiation sources, whatever is nowadays installed with smart meter, with harp antenna, with whatever military signals from radiation and so on, radar and radioactivity. There are too many problems actually, and therefore it's wise to have always a small mini tower with you, because otherwise you build up at home a strong energy field around your body. But when you go out, maybe it gets half destroyed. Then you come home, it gets again repaired, but it goes this way always up and down. But when you build it up at home, as a strong energy field, the aura gets stronger around your body. Then when you take a mini with you, could stay this level that you built it up at home. And when you come home, it grows further. The aura, your aura can grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And therefore, you are during the time much more and more protected against any harmful radiation. Yeah.
And I think what this person was asking, if they have like a 220, for example, and let's say they only go 10-15 kilometers away from their home, will the 220 keep protecting them?
They can communicate with the 220. Certain things are possible. But 220 is actually not so much for the individual support of the person. You see, it's more for the whole nature, for all the environment, for reducing the total amount of harmful radiation from any mobile phone towers, and so on, that all the animals or plants are surviving. Also, when people are walking outside, yes, of course. But the big towers don't work so much individual, because they have many tasks, like clarifying places where in earlier times there was a war, for instance, or cemetery places where there are whatever souls are trapped and caught, like in a prison. This cleaning effects, or cleaning rivers or lakes, or detoxifying agricultural areas. Now, of course, they deliver also support for human beings, but not individual. The small tower has maybe just flat family members, that's it. But the big tower can maybe reach or cover an area of 1,000 kilometers. So, and maybe there are 20 million people living. So how can 3 souls handle all the 500 tasks of 20 million people a day? So that's a problem, a capacity problem. And therefore, it's not individualized for the 20 million people, but it's actually the support for all 20 million people by reducing the harmful energy field in this area. But when there are 10,000 mobile phone towers or 100,000 even, even one big tower of us is not sufficient for such an area. You have to see the total amount of energy, harmful energy compared to positive energy produced by the cosmic tower. And it has to be strong. Therefore, we are also supporting the project in America that people can buy big towers also there, because small towers we could deliver by mail and so on, but the bigger ones are quite complicated with the shipping container and all these kinds of things. And therefore, it would be helpful to have more and more big towers. Then we have a stable network, because with radiation you can kill people. When they raise more and more and more, the radiation is really a harmful thing. And therefore, this can only be prevented by a strong network of big towers. Yes. And when this is there, then also the small towers can produce more energy than with the reduced harmful energy of mobile phone towers can be destroyed. That is actually the aim, and therefore it's a teamwork of the big and small towers.
Yeah, and they do that naturally and automatically. The big towers are taken care of.
Yes, right, correct.
Yeah. Thank you. Another question that one of the persons asked is, does the soul that attaches to a tower have presence in the entire toroidal field of the tower, or are the effects closer to the tower?
No, the soul can see everything. The soul is even not limited. They can, from the higher dimensions, they see everything. Yes. Not only the area where the cosmic tower is. Yes.
And then one question we get a lot also that might be good to explain to people is that, yes, big towers have a range of, say, 800 or 1,000 kilometers, but that doesn't necessarily mean that one tower covers everything for that range.
Yes, yes, correct. And also the energy field is not all the time everywhere there. Because they can operate in this energy field. That means there is maybe like a guard when someone shouldn't get a huge problem or shouldn't get killed or a harmful accident or something like this. They can see it and they can send energy. And this can even be done in areas where there's no cosmic tower. Because when we build up the energy field with big towers, then the big towers can cover all the distances in between also. And when there is a serious problem somewhere in this whole field, but when there's even no tower, no one big cosmic tower, the other ones can send energy from far distant places. That's also possible. For whatever security things and so on. That's possible, but it will not be depending on the ego of the people. It will really depend on the purpose why certain people are here, or certain people doing very good things for mankind, maybe get in danger due to other people who don't like them, and so on, as we have seen in the past, what happened to many civilizations, and so on. And this can be amazing help for this kind of people, are also very interesting scientists who do a lot of alternative things and so on. They got very often serious difficulties, and those persons can also be protected, especially protected that those things won't happen, or at least they have much protection or get an early warning that you're not at home that time or whatever.
That's very beautiful. Then there's a question about, how does tower alter geopathic stress so it's no longer detrimental to the body?
Geopathic problems were one of the main problems in the past. When there was no electricity, no chemical industry, or other harmful energies available on Earth, people got only cancer, for instance, cancer, when they were maybe 70, 80 years old and has slept maybe 30 years on an underground water line or across there from the energy lines of the Earth and so on. Normally, otherwise they didn't get cancer or this kind of serious diseases. But many people would like to have a good sleeping place. They invite a geopathic expert. Then he's coming and making his drawings and measurements and all these nice of things. You have to pay maybe $1,000 or something like this. So, and he will sell you a cord matte below it for shielding, but this will accumulate more energy. Therefore, you have to replace it. You have to call him again. Or when there's an earthquake and the underground water line moves away half meter, you have again to call this expert and make the next expertise and drawings and spend a lot of other money and so on. So, or you get the guidance, okay, the water line is going directly through your bed, but actually just through the side where is your wife sleeping. Your wife therefore should move away 4 meters and so on like this, that you are have all whatever limitations due to this kind of things. But when you put it in cosmic towers here, you put it there, everything is gone. Nothing. You don't need to call such an expert. You don't have to move your bed. Your wife doesn't have to sleep 5 meters away or whatever. You can sleep wherever you want. You don't have to change a living room into a sleeping room or to change even your house into a better place somewhere else. Because the energy field of the cosmic tower is much stronger than the energy field from underground radiation. And interesting was when I was in January in Spain, there was a doctor and he was coming to our conference there. We had maybe 80 people there in this room. It was a huge room. And then he stood up and we told people to ask some questions or have some hints and so on. And he said, yeah, he has some interesting experience because he is a geopathic expert. Alternative medicine he does, but also geopathic places, investigations. And he said he had found here in this room no single harmful energy area, nothing. Normally you have all the 2 meter or 2.5 meters, earth line, Hoffman, and all this curry and so on, or water lines. And he said, that's a surprise to him. This room here, there's a conferences, no single disturbance places. And he checked our cosmic tower and he said, yeah, it has to do with the cosmic tower. And he ordered the same evening immediately a 250 tower. He is deeply impressed and helping us and promoting our project there. Very good.
Yes, that's amazing. And we're seeing that more and more people that are dowsers and that are asked to actually have a look at the cosmic tower. Oftentimes even to prove that it might not be working, and then they're totally amazed.
You see, sometimes you have people calling me, my cosmic tower doesn't work. So I'm asking, when did you speak to the cosmic tower last time? Because the soil, I can't remember. So what's happening? When the cosmic tower is trying to get in more closer contact with the people, how could he signal this? Maybe he will switch off a little bit, so that the water is not so tasteful anymore. So that he has the idea, maybe I should speak to the cosmic tower to make the water better. Something like this, that you get in contact really. Or sometimes certain things, as I said in the beginning, are done automatically by the cosmic tower, but certain things not. That means when people have, for instance, any special water cleaning system in their kitchen or wherever, the cosmic tower, the soul can see it, but they are accepting the free will. That means, okay, they're looking at the system, okay, when you like to have this water, please go ahead. I don't interfere. That means they don't make the water better, even when they could, unless you tell them something. And therefore, the main thing, just when you are And you as a Cosmic Tower, I think you should always welcome the Cosmic Tower and tell the Cosmic Tower some fundamental things, like I kindly ask you to improve everything that's in my house as much as possible for my health, for my private health, or for my animals' health, so that everyone gets a good energy, supportive energy, and good guidance, and so on. And when I have some other elements in my house, maybe I bought 5 pyramids or whatever, Aufkleber, also what,
stickers
with symbols or whatever numbers or other elements, energetic devices, then I would recommend that the people tell the Cosmic Tower, whatever is here in the house, please make it as good as possible. And if something is not as good as it should be, then give me the hint that I recognize that I should remove it. This way. So when everything is in harmony with the laws of the universe, with a perfect harmony, and so on, with overtone octaves and vibrations that are really healthy, everything is adding to the other one. That means there is no harmful negative interference. And this can be also tested by kinesiological tests. Many people have whatever devices and who tries to get this health improved. Most people bought this one, that one, and so on. Many people have a collection of this kind of thing. Yes, and therefore you should tell who is the boss at home. And when you tell the Cosmic Tower, okay, I trust you that you do the best, and you take care of all of these things, or just let me know that I should change something or remove even something. Because otherwise the Cosmic Tower would need their own energy to balance unbalanced other systems. But this own energy can be used for more useful things in your house, instead of compensating something that is maybe not needed anymore.
Yes, because it's a question we often get from people, like, hey, about this device. Do you know this device?
Sure.
Should the Cosmic Tower make it better? Or
the advantage of the Cosmic Tower is actually it covers many things at the same time. We cover all the energetic problems. So it means there's a complete protection from any harmful radiation, let's say from all the normal electrosmog from Bluetooth WLAN, but also to 5G, to a smart meter, to microwave, to scalar wave, harmful scalar waves. They provide also protection due to the toroidal field and also underground earth lines, grids, and so on, but also to black magic, mind control. And also many people have microchips in the body without knowing it. There can be provided protection. This is one main function. The other function is supporting our health, actually, by delivering these frequencies of light. And any organ in our body has a special frequency of light. And when this organ, or also the energy points in our body, gets this right frequency, then we can help the body getting rid of blockages and raising the own energy field in the body and giving the organs more life energy, the cells more electrons, for instance, and so on. And also the chakras can be balanced, that they are corrected into the middle. And also the frequencies of light we need for our levitation in the body. When we understand that our blood system is not powered by a pump called heart, but when our blood system is really working by levitation, because a pump would be not possible for this huge pipette system, blood system, and this smallest capillaries, and sometimes blood test is not anymore so liquid, like we have thrombose. And therefore, the levitation is important. Levitation, of course, only when you have a harmony of 7 rainbow colors in your blood. Like a healing well that comes up against gravity by levitation, but always when it has always 7 rainbow colors. Otherwise never any levitation. And the same is in our body. Therefore, we have this pH value in our body, 7.38. And when we are at this level, at this pH level, then there's a certain harmony of minerals in the body, enabling exactly this pH, but the minerals are representing frequencies of light. So and when minerals are missing in our body, then the levitation is less, then our chakras work less, then the resonance to the chakras of the earth is less, then we get less life energy from the earth. We can produce only less water, we look older, we get wrinkles, we get dehydrated, and when we have less water, we get also less hexagonal water structures and therefore less electricity, and we are more and more dying. The more electricity goes down, the more we are closer to death. And the cosmic torus delivers frequencies of light. So that means even when we have less and less minerals, certain deficiencies of minerals can be compensated with more light. And when the light is powerful and harmonized, there's also this complete spectrum of light with all the frequencies, then the body can utilize these additional frequencies and the levitation can increase. And therefore, the whole body functions may be more powerful or better. And so on, the body can produce more electrons by itself. And therefore, the self-healing capacity of the body goes up, will be stronger. And also, when we have more electrons available, then our cell membrane voltage can stay high or go high. A healthy cell has a cell membrane voltage of -70 millivolts, has a lot of electrons, and when the red blood cells have a high voltage, then they stay separate because they push apart each other. When the electricity is high, the charge is high. So, and therefore, you have a good blood circulation. When the cell membrane voltage goes down, then the red blood cells glue together. And we have this money roll effect that you can see with dark field microscopy. And then the blood circulation gets worse and worse and worse. And the cosmic tower actually delivers electrons, or it makes available to the body more electrons. And when there are more electrons, we have less problems with diseases. When the cell membrane voltage goes down from -70 millivolt to -50 millivolt, people get chronic inflammation. And chronic, because it's difficult to get more electron to get rid of the inflammation, which is chronic one. That's a problem. And when it goes more down to -20 millivolt, people get cancer. That means when you have a device like the cosmic tower helping you getting more electrons, it can help you with all this kind of difficulties or problems with the lack of electrons in the body, lack of electricity. And in this way, the cosmic tower is actually working like a healer. 24 hours, year after year, decade after decade. But step by step by step, you can't expect when you have developed a problem for 50 years, you can't expect that it goes away in a half year or 1 year. You need some time. And also, the cosmic tower is just delivering the energies. But when you're lacking minerals, when you're lacking vitamins, enzymes, or whatever other things, proteins or good fatty acids, or cell membrane consists of amino acids and fatty acids. So, and when you deliver not this to the body, how can the body get healthy? That means there's a point of this one, of this one, of this one, this one, whatever the body needs. The basic might be the cosmic tower, but the other things, when they are missing, you can wait for years until you get a certain improvement. And therefore, you should also put these other things or make it available for the body. Vitamins, for instance, very important. Because the body detoxifies its glutathione. Glutathione is the strongest antioxidant in the human body. There's a cell membrane voltage of -230 millivolts. That means giving the body a lot of electrons this way, raising cell membrane voltage in the body, and detoxifying all harmful particles in the liver. But when you're lacking vitamin C or vitamin E, then glutathione has to be used in order to regenerate, used vitamin C, vitamin E, alpha lipoic acid, and coenzyme Q10, because it has more electrons. And then it's the problem is then it's a depletion of glutathione. And when this is depleted, you get problems with cancer, with stroke and heart attack, and there's more serious problems.
Yes.
So, and the last function was actually the cosmic tower delivers, in addition, also electrons from outside. That is on top of this. That means our air has everywhere humidity, and when this humidity is structured in a hexagonal structure, there are more electrons, more minus ions or negative charge ions available in the air. And therefore you breathe in pure life energy. So, and also when you have more electrons in the air, you can electrically neutralize any dust in the air. Dust, particles, and bacteria, microbes or fungi or whatever is flying around has a positive charge. And when there's a positive charge, it pushes aside each other, keeping them in the air. And when you have electrons, you can neutralize it, and then it sinks down to the ground. And this way makes the air clean, and you have not that problems with Hausstaub allergy and so on. We don't know forest air allergy or sea air allergy. We already know Hausstaub allergy, house dust allergy, because there's a lot of dust in the air. And why is it especially at house? Because we have everywhere radiation. And radiation is killing the hexagonal structure of water in the air. And therefore you have less electrons. Normally you have maybe 100 per cubic centimeter. When you go in the forest, you have 900. And so open sea is 3,000 below waterfalls when they are high, maybe 10,000 and so on. Boston Pyramid, 120,000. That means the electrons are the key. We get additional electrons from outside, from the air. We get it also from changed structure in water. The water in our body, the extracellular matrix, this water gets harmful information, can be deleted, and get the hexagonal structure plus the frequencies of light, this complete spectrum of light. And the same will happen with your tap water. When you open your tap water at your house, then the bare structure, cluster structure will be deleted. And the water will be newly structured with a hexagonal structure, getting more electrons out of the water and frequencies of light. It's the same as with food. When you buy some food, as long as it is fresh harvested from your own garden, it has a lot of electrons, a lot of plasma condition. This hexagonal structured water. And then you take the food from the supermarket, and it has been taken away from the ground 1 week ago. This food was all the time exposed to radiation everywhere. That means all the hexagonal structures are gone. Normally after 6 to 8 hours, hexagonal structures are gone in food. Therefore, we don't get any electrons afterwards. But we need electrons. We are only dying from the lack of electrons. 1 second before this and 1 second afterwards, only the electricity is gone. And these are the electrons. That means it's very important. So when you have food without electrons, maybe whatever food that was harvested 2 weeks or a longer time ago, and you bring it into the energy field, so cosmic tower will relieve any harmful structure in the food and will reprogram the structure with the hexagonal structure plus the frequencies of light, and making the food very healthy, and also that your body gets a lot of additional energy from outside. So this is the summary of the cosmic tower. It's actually producing that our body produces more electrons. That is a healing effect of the tower. And then more as it's produced, and the electrons are not getting destroyed anymore from radiation. This protection is there, complete protection, and we get additional electrons from outside. So that raises our life capacity, self-healing capacity of the body, and so on, and gives you more power. And you feel much stronger, but it takes some time. But also depending on the situation of the person. When someone has eaten his whole life whatever dirty food, so dirty, I mean unhealthy food, and has a lot of toxin collected in the body. What does a cosmic tower do when the load of toxic particles is up to the wherever high level? Then people have to detoxify also additionally, and so on. And the more you do positive things, and on top, and the more you get rid of negative things you have done in the past, the more you can make progress. And the cosmic tower doesn't create a situation where we never die. So that's not the case. However, it can help us staying longer healthy and having a longer time, a much better life, or looking younger, or whatever, due to more health, due to more water production in the body and more energy and so on.
Great. And we have some questions related to what we just discussed. One person is asking, if you live near a large tower, can you stop filtering your air and water?
The air, I think you don't need to filter the air. As long as you have not whatever crazy situation. But with the water, it's a little bit tricky, because there are more and more ingredients that are put into water. They put more chemicals, more carbonate, and so on. And when the water gets more and more a saturated solution, it's a problem. You see, when we have water plus tea, then with tea you can never get your clothes clean in a washing machine. Washing with tea or coffee will not make your clothes clean, because it's a saturated solution. And when you get from your city water with a lot of carbonate or whatever other chemicals inside, and as long as it becomes a saturated solution, the water has lost completely its cleaning effect. And also when the water molecules are bound in the water with whatever other addings to the water, then you can maybe cut down a little bit of remaining cluster structures, but you have not the useful, the powerful effect of the new structuring, because it's too few water molecules that are free. The others are bound and occupied with all the stuff that is in water. And therefore, I would recommend to make a kinesological test. Is your water good enough that it can be drained without filtering? Or is it better to filter it to get rid of certain dust, also dirt and so on, whatever particles or chemicals, and afterwards being structured by the cosmic tower? Normally, when you have good water, some communities maybe get water directly from the ground, from the pump system, and so on. There are no chemicals inside. But in Europe, for instance, we use the water in a circle 6 to 8 times. We get it from the sewage. It goes into sewage water plant. It will be cleaned there just mechanically, then biologically and chemically. Mechanical, chemical, and biological treatment. So that means all information of thousands of poisons and whatever excrements, whatever harmful thing, everything is in the structure in the water. This water looks clear and healthy and nice. However, the harmful structure of thousands or 100,000 bad things is in. And they have the same effect as if the physical part of this bad things is there in. And when it goes into the river, it stays in. And downwards the river, the next city gets drinking water. That means in Europe, people, when this circle is repeated 6 to 8 times, you could imagine what kind of amounts of harmful information is in there. Actually, we get delivered in our kitchen water from a sewage water plant, actually, as drinking water. And this water has a terrible structure, is a perfect milieu for growth of bacteria and fungi or whatever. And in order to prevent this, they add some chlorine. That means you have a terrible structured water, unhealthy, endless unhealthy, plus a little bit poison, and they sell you as healthy water. And that's a good drinking water you're getting now. So the cosmic tower can really change it. The same as with the food. You have the agricultural industry uses a lot of chemicals, and the chemicals are binding any trace minerals in the ground. So that means there's almost depleted, mineral depleted soil everywhere. So and then they do the intensive agricultural industry, maybe 2 times a year harvesting or 3 times or more. So that means when there is no chemicals in the ground, the plants don't grow so much, not so healthy. Therefore, they get fertilizers like Stickstoff, also nitrogen, phosphor, and kali, potassium. These are the 3 main minerals they are giving the agricultural industry. So that means they have a huge growth of plant in short time, but unhealthy plants. So therefore, in order to prevent fungi or insects or whatever problem, they add fungicide, pesticide, herbicides, chemical. That means you have a plant by itself that's unhealthy, plus a little bit poison on top of it, and they are selling you as healthy food, the same thing. Like with the water, always the same. So, and the cosmic tower can really prevent certain things. And even the cosmic tower can neutralize physical harmful energies, and physical matter. Because we have to understand physical matter is just the same thing like energy is, just a kind of energy. So, and why is something harmful and one is some physical matter not harmful? The difference is the electron spin. If it is counterclockwise, is it unhealthy? When it's clockwise, it's healthy. It has to do with the toroidal fields. As I explained in many of my presentations, everything is working with the toroidal fields, starting from the galaxy, solar system, the Earth, our chakras. It's all toroidal fields, all interconnected, and it goes down to the electrons, also toroidal fields. It's just the energy field, not physical matter. We consider this as physical matter, but in reality it's a form of energy. And one type of energy is harmful when it's counterclockwise, because our galaxy has a clockwise energy field, and our human body needs a clockwise energy field. So therefore, when we change it from this direction into the healthy direction, we can actually detoxify many things. And the physical part is still there. You can measure it in the laboratory, the chemistry is still there. However, with the cosmic tower, we can remove the harmful effect. And then when it's not anymore harmful, and you eat something like this, the body will recognize, this and this is coming. I don't need it. Harmful is also not. No, I don't have to detoxify. I don't have to store it for later detoxification in my body. I can just let it through. Down, upstairs in, downstairs out. That's it. Just this going through process. That's a difference. And therefore, we have less problems with whatever unhealthy foods and so on. And also, when the food is energized by the cosmic tower with a good structure and the frequencies of light, then you have less hunger. Yes, because you have more electrons. The body is only crying for the next food when there are less energy available. Up to a certain point, the body has energy, but then it's crying, let me have something to eat. So when people, when they eat food with low energy, they eat and eat and eat more, they get always a little bit, especially when you eat junk food or so, there's almost nothing in electrons. Then 2 hours later, you eat the next hamburger or whatever junk food things, and you're getting overweight due to all the calories. And with all this unhealthy food, you get also a lot of additional harmful particles in the body, pesticides or whatever other things, and also lack of minerals. Just see the normal bread when it's not made from full corn, then it has also a lack of minerals. And when you eat something like this, it must be digested. The body needs to add its own valuable water. When you eat bread, how much water is in bread? So that means it has to be used, the water has to be used from the body. The body has to produce it, also using energy. So it means you're using more and more your own energy, and the food doesn't deliver. Therefore, the people eat more, get overweight, endless overweight. With the cosmic tower, might change, so I lost at least 15, 20 kilo. I had more. And you eat more conscious, good food with good energy, and also more, you think more what you eat also, because it's also the summary of the good things. When you eat more raw food, then you step by step. When you have always eaten cooked food, you have to do it slowly, step by step. but key is actually raw food, freshly harvested.
Yes.
There you get a lot of electrons. And for the American people, I can only recommend a nice woman. She was published in American television. Her name is Annette with double N, Annette, double N, double T, and her surname Larkins, Larkins, Annette Larkins. This woman looks like 30 years old, but she is more than 80. Have a look. She is eating raw food. Amazing. Yeah.
A related question to this is, will tower return microwave food to the healthy state?
Yeah. Microwave, as I just said, destroying any hexagonal structure. Yeah, therefore, microwave, you see a water molecule is a dipole, and the dipole has a plus and a minus side. And when you put it in the electromagnetic field, it's jumping back and forth with a change of the electricity polarity. So as soon as it is jumping, quickly jumping with a microwave, then you have a lot of friction between water molecules. And due to a lot of friction, you can heat it or boil it in a few seconds. However, when you get the electrons, your life energy, only from hexagonal structured water, and you need a stable hexagonal structure, what happens when you switch these 6 water molecules back and forth with a tremendous speed? You kill all the structure, and therefore you kill all the electrons, all life energy in food with microwave. Therefore, the Russians have forbidden the microwave, I think at least 30 years after World War II. Microwave food was developed by the Germans, for the soldiers at the front to get their food quickly heated. However, when they recognized, no, then the army cannot fight anymore, because nobody has any energy or even whatever serious problem, they stopped it. And the Russians had this knowledge, and after World War II, 30 years, no microwave available in Russia, intentionally due to the harmful effect. But go to the normal electro shops, you can buy a microwave everywhere. And when you buy in the supermarket ready-made foods, they recommend you can put it in the back oven. There it needs 4 minutes to heat, or microwave 40 seconds. It's still known the deadly effect, but they are still recommending this. That means people should be really aware of what they are doing and what kind of things they have to watch on.
Another question is, can the towers protect against man-made weather events, and will it protect against natural disasters such as tornadoes or wildfires?
It's the first word I did then, is a man-made what?
Weather modification.
Okay. Actually, the cosmic tower are not specifically designed for this, but they can build up together. They are all interconnected. They can build up together a huge toroidal field, positive one, and therefore you can do some things. Yeah, it's possible. Now the question is only the location, where are the cosmic towers available or not, and so on, but it's possible. And I had also interesting experiences with some customers, also at least one woman, she told me her experience. She was living close to Graz in the southern part of Austria. And she saw in the evening a huge thunderstorm were building up. Everything, the whole sky became very dark, and this movement in the sky, she was really frightening and so on. And she said, okay, I have to do something. And she stood herself between 2 cosmic towers, the big one and the smaller one. And she was actually energized by the cosmic towers. Even the balls were starting to flash light. That was amazing. The towers also went up with the energy. And she was asking, we should stop this build-up tornado or whatever it was, a hurricane. So 5 minutes later, clear sky. Wow. So, and then some days later, she was woken up at night, 2 o'clock, and she got the message, you should go down and look out of the window. Okay. She went up at night, sleeping, going out in the similar situation there. And she did again, and it was the same effect. Cosmic tower could really do something. But I don't know what's in America. You have maybe different categories of hurricanes and whatever more harmful weather machines, harp systems, and so on. It depends. But when you build up an amazing, strong power energy field with a cosmic torus, I think there are certain things really possible then.
Yes. Going more into the man-made technologies, question here where they believe you said that the towers can protect against EMPs, electromagnetic pulses. And is that dependent on the strength of the pulse?
Yeah, we didn't make any experiences but the cosmic tower can create protecting energy fields. It depends, of course, also EMP, how strong it is, and is it caused by an atomic bomb or other new energy system that they have for the military now. I think also we should be aware that all the changes on Earth or all the development on Earth are not just 3D supervised. You see there are higher entities involved, and they make sure also that mankind can go its way and it's not endlessly hindered for the whole journey to higher dimensions and so on. And that means also there are supporting forces available. Of course, the cosmic tower can do something, but I think there are also much more advanced civilizations around the Earth and so on, from Pleiadians, Arcturiana, Siriana, and this kind of beings, because our galaxy was not fully taken over by the dark side, just by 87%. And the other remaining 30%, they have the highest technologies. You can only dream of this. And they are also helping, but they are waiting until mankind does its homework. And mankind has to do their own steps. But certain things that might hinder the whole freedom of mankind might be prevented by this extraterrestrial positive forces supporting mankind.
Very good. And you mentioned this lady says that some of the Earth portals were closed and ley lines were adjusted. And can you explain why and how this was done?
I know actually that the Earth was earlier located in the 5th dimension. And humans living on Earth had also that higher consciousness of the 5th dimension. They are not caught in this reincarnation circle endless, since we have now, since obviously 78,000 years. We are actually caught in an energy prison in a 3rd dimension. So, and this is actually the chance, or why did it go down? Because they changed actually the energy field. Earlier, when the Earth was created, our energy field on Earth was a dodecaeder field, like a football, and all spots were pentagon shaped. Yes. So, and this was a very healthy, very amazing energy field, compared with the hexagonal field for the water delivering electricity. And this combination was extraordinarily powerful and whatever enables the highest consciousness and so on. So, but in order to keep mankind actually as slaves for the non-human societies, they had to change the energy field of the Earth. Mankind was too clever, too conscious. They could see anything in advance, and they could see the lies and whatever. Therefore, they had to take away the most conscious people, like the Cathars and so on, burning them on the stake, and reducing the energy field of the Earth. And this was done with pyramids and other technologies, and also by closing chakras of the Earth. The Earth is also a living being, and then you close chakras, and then the energy goes down. And also the ley lines were also blocked. And the more you damage energy systems, the lower is the frequency. And the less people can get energy from the Earth, the less is the lifetime of people. And nowadays, many people are working until they are 68 years maybe, and half a year later they are dead. So that was life. So actually, we are just running for a little bit money and living whatever poor life and so on. Yeah, but this is not the real living as it was foreseen by our Creator. When we see the oldest people in the Bible, 900 years,
Yes.
or there was a group of perfecti among the Cathars, they could live 1,700 years. So that means we are in a situation where we are surrounded by so many harmful radiation, so many bad foods, so many artificial things that is really limiting our life tremendously. So, and the cosmic tower can actually help to repair this. When the ley lines are blocked, then it can be repaired. But a normal human being with an energy field of few meters, how can you repair a blockage in the ley line? Or how can you switch on a closed chakra of the earth when this is 40 kilometers in diameter? That means this is quite difficult. The cosmic tower has a network of the cosmic tower has the ability to do this, to help there. And also when we see where the certain things are located, on the main ley line of the earth, the rose lines, there are many harmful institutions located. Look, starts with Egypt. There's a lot of hidden things and so on. Then it goes to Rome, Vatican. Then it goes to Rennes Chateau. There's also the special church with a special being in the church. So it goes back to Paris and to many such places. And all this not the healthiest energy on this spots, but the most darkest energy things put on in order to manipulate the energy field. This is also important. Otherwise, when this is not done, how can the energy field of the earth go up? How can the people get more energy to do the ascension? That is actually the key. Many things that the cosmic tower are doing is for the health, but the main task is actually health is just a side effect in order to enable people more clarity, more getting rid of the veil, keeping us taken away from the higher dimensions, more getting a higher vibration. That should be the aim, in order that the people can get more consciousness and are able to do the ascension process, and to reach a higher dimension and escaping this artificial matrix, 3D dimension created by artificial intelligence. We are living in a film, actually, not in the real reality. But how come out when mankind is sleeping and all the surroundings are destroyed and the good energies are taken away, and we have low energy and are fighting our diseases and have no time, no money, and so on. How could you get out? The cosmic towers are actually, I see them as a present from the higher dimension, that we can get this help in this most difficult times, in the sad times, actually, to survive under this terrific, harmful conditions, and also to get support for our guidance, because when you're surrounded by systems where you can't trust anything, where everything is a lie or opposite, just let's take the money system with the interest of interest, and let's take the whole legal system on earth, when the sovereign states are replaced by companies like United Nations members, or when the medical industry just treats symptoms and not the causes, or when the mass media are reporting just one-sided their agenda and not the real truth, or when you go to science, when you are not at any university taught anything about the toroidal field, levitation, scalar waves, or free energy. All the things is available since many hundred years, but we are kept away from this real knowledge with disinformation, and this has to end. Actually, that mankind can get free, can reach a higher dimension, and can get the results of its own production. Nowadays, what mankind is creating and producing, it's actually taken away by more than 90%. So when we could keep this one for us as mankind, maybe we have to work just 1 hour a day. Just hobby, and we can produce more than anybody can consume. Then we wouldn't need any money or wouldn't need any greed or whatever. That's a future in front of us that is so amazing. Most people can't imagine this, what's possible. And I'm happy to be a part of this process and do my part. We do the production of the devices, and I got a lot of backup knowledge and know what's coming and how we can reach certain things. And I can only invite people to share these ideas and this knowledge, and also make the cosmic tower known, because we are all sitting in the same boat. And it doesn't help when a group of few thousand people reach ascension level. It doesn't help mankind, and mankind will go under, and we are in the most decisive final stage of a cosmic war that lasts for many, many decades, thousands of years. I think 78,000 years. So, and when mankind will lose this battle, that means not only the end of the physical body, it means destruction of all the human souls. Actually, it's a fight against the Creator by non-human beings. So the cosmic tower can help mankind and protect from most serious things, but only when we have a strong network and good people involved and supporting the project. I will do my best.
Yes, and you are.
Yeah.
One person is asking, will a cosmic tower provide assistance to all the people within its reach, or only to those people that ask for help and are aware of its existence?
No, so when you have an individual cosmic tower at home, it will help everybody. Without that the people need to ask. The fundamental things are provided all the time. Protection from radiation, the support for the health and so on, or the additional electrons from outside. But also when people come for a visit, when people have a cosmic tower at home, and the visitor will enter the house, the visitor doesn't get automatically the good energy, because the visitor has a free will. The cosmic tower doesn't overwhelm him with whatever good energy. And therefore the soul of the cosmic tower will communicate with the higher self of this person. And when the higher self says, yes, of course, can see his energy field and see the effect, and the higher self agrees, and the person comes in, everything is fine, gets the energy, gets like a treatment, medical treatment, or like a healer treatment with energy. Here they can use the energy field, of course. So, but when the higher self will say no, because maybe this person does a spiritual development on his own, and is maybe 5 meters, symbolically 5 meters in front of a terrific breakthrough. What shall the person learn by itself? Since the cosmic tower would maybe push the last 5 meters over the breakthrough, and maybe the higher self says, no, stop. He should learn these things by himself, and therefore this person wouldn't get the energy. But he can come into the house or in the flat. But how does it work when he doesn't get the energy field? The cosmic tower will prepare like an energy bubble around this person. No energy of the cosmic tower goes into. Therefore he stays in his own energy, and everything is fine. It's not, people don't recognize it by consciousness, but it's going on behind screens actually.
So somebody asks, why would the cosmic tower have to be reset when it moves to somebody else's home? And is the soul connected to everybody that's living in the household?
So each tower is connected to 3 souls. We changed this some months ago. And the reset actually is therefore in order to delete any old information. When the cosmic tower was earlier in the family where everyone had diabetes, and the cosmic tower had to treat this one and make available special frequencies just for this one. Then there was a concentration on this topic of priority. And when it goes to another family and they have heart problem and not diabetes, then the old information can be getting deleted. Because the soul also adjusts to the people and so on, and therefore with a reset, it's actually like brand new without any previous information from other people and so on. That's the only thing.
And you just mentioned that there was a change made to go to 3 souls.
Yes.
Why was that change?
Because due to more capacity. Even when there is a lot of energy available, but any soul can only handle a certain amount of tasks. With 3 souls, you can handle 3 tasks as much. And therefore, just more capacity.
Oh, that's great to know.
Yeah, sure. Also, we added more frequencies of light. We don't have only the frequencies of a few healing waters, but we incorporated a complete spectrum of light that you can imagine. That's this one, and therefore we have a lot of support for whatever blockages or organ energy deficiencies and so on.
And you just received a beautiful confirmation of that, didn't you?
Yeah, the publishers, I'm still waiting for this expert. He tested this, it was funny. I gave, so actually we arranged it, but I was not sure if it's really like this. And then by coincidence, let's say coincidence, I get another expert and he investigated this without knowing that I would like to know this. And actually I got 2 confirmation. And this one will be prepared and writing. And as soon as we have it, we can publish it.
Yes. Great. So one person asks, if the tower contains all the frequencies of light, would a plant be able to survive in a dark room if it's in the field of the tower?
We have to make this experiment.
Yeah, interesting.
Yes, but we should understand that we are not living only of light, also of visual light. Light has also the higher frequencies of light, and you see there are many people who were living a long time in caves without any daylight, and they don't die because there is. We have to understand light as a scalar wave. Yes, and the scalar wave has a frequency of the rainbow colored visual light, but also the next octaves, the next octaves, the next octaves, and they are always delivering. Or your human body consists also of many aura layers. It's the physical body and many aura layers, and each aura layer is certain octaves higher than the physical body, and also there we need life energy and so on. So, but we have to make the experiment, maybe with a plant, maybe some people are interested, to make a plant, put a plant in the darkness and put it all through it. I think there might be a useful effect,
Amazing. One of the things many people in the United States have reported is that the moment they decided that they were going to buy a cosmic tower, they got a visit.
Visit from the soul, not from the police.
Yes. And that seemed, I mean, we didn't talk about this, but we just spontaneously started to get these testimonials from people.
It's true, and it's very common, let's say it like this. Because when people make the decision, I buy a cosmic tower, when it's fixed, then the soul tries to help already or guide the people or send some confirmation or some good experiences that the people recognize there's already a soul available. And also when there's a network of cosmic tower, they can also use energy of other cosmic towers and act already certain things and enable certain things. So we have really funny situations. I met a woman in Germany, and she said, the soul was there. She got in contact, and then there was a proposal. We can do already this one, and we can clean that area there. Even the tower was not there, So even working abroad, there was an idea to do something in Asia and so on, and in Egypt also. And I was really fascinated. Many people who are in contact with the soul of animals and so on, they are also able to communicate with the cosmic thought. That's more and more, especially in times where the vibration goes higher and higher. So it means we get more clairvoyance or more consciousness access and so on. And then it's also much easier to communicate with the cosmic thought. So,
Yeah, this lady asked because she asked, does the soul then bring all the frequencies of light with it? Because she had an orchid that hadn't bloomed in 7 or 8 years, and she decided that she was going to buy a cosmic tower, an orchid flower, orchid. And she said it had bloomed for the first time in 8 years.
Orchideas, they really like the cosmic tower. But not only orchideas. I had a friend who took some pictures of our cosmic towers for our newspapers and magazines and flyers. And afterwards, 6 weeks later, I tried to get my cosmic towers back. We borrowed just to him the towers. And he said, the 35 tower you don't get back. So, and I said, what's going on? Why? And he said, yes, I have such a small cactus, 10 centimeter high, and I have it since more than 10 years. And this cactus always gets once a year for a short period of time, one blossom. So very nice, but only once short time. And then when I had your cosmic towers, the 35, suddenly this cactus got 5 at the same time, plus another 3 following. 8 pieces, just in a few weeks. Normally, once a year, one blossom. Wow. This kind of things. We have really to plant amazing effects. Also in the southern part of France was a situation, we had a big tower there, and Yvonne came there from Holland, and she was impressed by the energy. And when she went out of the door and so on, getting some fresh air outside also, she was contacted by the tree. So there was an old tree, I think 3-meter diameter of the stem, at the Linde, I don't know the English name.
Willow, I think.
Okay. So this, she was communicating with the tree. And the tree said, all nature here in southern part of France is so happy, so grateful that this tower is there. They suffered so many hundreds of years, and now they have a very positive energy. So we have really amazing effects also for animals. We had a woman, she also got a tower put into her house, and the house property was quite small, and there was a fence, and next to the fence was a huge grass area, and there were maybe 100 sheep distributed all over the area, far away from the house and so on. And you put a tower in the house, something changed. The sheep came close to the fence and stayed most of the time there to get the maximum energy.
Wow. It's amazing how nature responds. I mean, we hear so much about it because human beings, we can get in our heads, right? But animals and nature, they just respond to the healthy field.
Switzerland, we saw there was a lake, Baldecker See, huge lake, and one woman bought also 250 towers there, maybe 3-4 kilometers away. The lake was always with a lot of algae, and you couldn't see to the ground. You could never see any fish and whatever bad situation for the whole lake. Artificial ventilation since many, many years. So then we put the tower there, and a few months later, the lake became crystal clear. You could see fishes, you could look to the ground, this kind of thing. But there's a lot of things possible. I don't know if it's happening everywhere. Of course, it depends on the situation, on the pollution. Maybe there are a lot of chemicals or whatever. But there's a lot of change possible.
Yes. And you made an estimate of how many towers, big towers, would be needed in Holland, right, to completely neutralize the effects, and I know it's not an exact science. And people are asking, do we have an estimate of how many large towers we think we will need in the US?
You see, if we put in Germany now 450 big towers, 220 and 250. Wow. Yeah, 200, 450, you could imagine. Just compare the map of Germany with the map of the United States. Then you get maybe a small blue. Yeah, but Germany is much more dense population and so on, of course. But I think the amount of mobile phone and cell phone towers and smart meters and so on is not different as a inhabitant. I think the same thing in US now, but it's depending on all of the situation, also how additional energy, also whatever is exposed from radioactivity and whatever atomic weapon tests or whatever they do. But I think you need a lot. I would say maybe minimum 1,500 or something. Yes.
Another question here. It's being mentioned that prion disease, mad cow disease, it's spreading among the deer now in the US. And she asked, will the towers have any effect in eradicating this issue?
I don't know this disease is English name, at least I don't know. Chronic
wasting disease.
What is chronic wasting disease when you have less energy? Or
like the mad cow disease that they used to have here.
Mad cow. Not so familiar with it. Yeah, because the change of the cosmic tower is actually not to treat special diseases.
Yeah.
You see, the cosmic tower delivers energy. Life energy, electrons. Yeah, we are dead. Any nice human beings, plants are dead. Then the electricity is gone. So, and the cosmic tower delivers electrons, and therefore the self-healing capacity of any living being will grow up. So, and then the organism will choose where to put the energy first, maybe to cell membrane voltage or to the better blood circulation, and this is a problem, or raising immune system, and so on. And therefore, when these fundamentals are corrected, then also step by step you can heal other diseases, whatever. But it's a priority list. You cannot say when someone has this or this health problem, I like the cosmic tower to heal this one. I think, and then people are disappointed when it doesn't happen. Yeah, because the cosmic tower has a different priority list. What the body needs first. Yeah, and the best example is also, as I mentioned, cell membrane voltage. Healthy cell minus 70 millivolt, cancer minus 20. So, do you think people realize that they are close to cancer? When it goes down step by step from minus 70 to minus 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. And only at 20 they realize they have a knot or something, feel it physically. Yeah, most people feel cancer only when they have a physical things they can touch. But the process from this high voltage, so higher electricity in the cell membrane, going to a cancer level of electricity, people don't realize this. And then people say, okay, I don't feel a difference when I have a cosmic tower. But maybe the cosmic tower has taken them from minus 25 to minus 40 already. When they don't feel the dropping down, how should they feel the going up? You see, that's so you have to be aware of this. You can measure this. You can measure with a biophoton camera. You can measure that. There's a specialist in Russia. He's a world-leading expert, Professor Konstantin Korotkov. Korotkov, when he produces biophoton camera biolevel. And I was many times there, visited in St. Petersburg and became friends and so on. This is a real expert, and there you can measure before and after. You see differences. Problem is the toroidal fields are not officially mentioned in any university. It's hidden away because otherwise mankind would be free. So therefore they don't make available measuring device to measure toroidal fields. Otherwise, you can prove that's existing. Yeah, so therefore, you can only measure the cosmic code directly.
Yeah.
You can measure the amount of minus ions in the air.
Yeah.
This negative charge ions. This one can be directly measured. You can measure the difference with the biophoton cover without cosmic power afterwards. This one you can measure. You can measure the change in water. With the structured water. With the people who can see from the special investigation methods, the structured water. This changes. Sometimes I had also very simple proposals. One woman, she took an apple, and always when she cuts it out and eats half, the other half gets very quickly brown.
Yeah.
And so she had the cosmic power, didn't get brown anymore. This kind of things, tiny small things that you can really see or feel, or you will feel a taste also the water. It gets more liquid and tasteful, but some people don't have this effect. Why? Because when people have a lot of toxicity in their body, also on the tongue, they have a layer of whatever. So when you drink water, and the water is very soft, it has a huge effect to dissolve a lot of particles from the tongue. And when you swallow this water, then you have the terrible effect. The terrible taste, but not from the water, but from your own poison on the tongue. So people think, oh no, that water doesn't taste good. But you have to look a little bit deeper to see the whole connection. And when the plug is gone from the tongue, of course, then you have a much different taste of the water. It's a real taste. Then it's delicious. You have to be just have to understand it and help the body to detoxify and to clean the body.
Thank you very much, Harald. That was very useful for all of us. And I'd like to know, do you have any other exciting updates you would like to share with the people in America regarding the Cosmic Power Project?
I would say most people are looking for support in such a difficult time that we have nowadays. So harmful energy is so bad. There's a food industry and toxic products and so on. And also there's a lot of disinformation when you look to the mass media and what's going on in the world. We are not told the truth of what's really going on. That the whole universe is full of living beings, mankind everywhere. They are telling us we are alone in the universe. But they had secret meetings with extraterrestrials in America. I think Eisenhower was it in 1954, and so on. They're even contracts and so on. That means mankind is kept very dumb, very stupid, and uninformed. So, and in this time, is it really difficult to find out the real truth when 98% of the information surrounding you is fake. Not the truth. It's really helpful to have assistance and support that you're guided when they warn you of any deadly virus and 500 times a day you should get tested. And so when you know there's so much light around, you should be suspicious and you should be guided. What should I do? Should I follow this fear argumentation and should I take whatever they recommend to me, or should I use my own common sense, or should I ask me for support to meet the right people where I get the right information, the right thing? Is it the right decision to make this or that, or to prevent this? This one is extremely helpful. And actually for this period of time, the cosmic power is there. As I said, the health support is one thing, but the other one is actually that we have a chance to arrive in the new time, in this new age, in this real new age, and that is not far away. I think in 5, 6, 7, 8, or 10 years, we have a complete different world. Yes. The question is only, do we have a chance to arrive there, or on the way there we are dead already due to all these harmful negative things, or we fall in this trap or that trap? Yeah, and therefore here we have a guide to support a living being with an amazing amount of energy that can really help us and support us and yeah, support our health or prevent us from whatever harmful decisions where we maybe would make a wrong decision. Also, we can get the right people into our life, or wrong people can be kept away, or you can protect your house when you're gone on holiday. Just order cosmic tower should take care of it, but he has no physical arts to prevent someone who breaks into the house. But they have more clever possibilities. Yeah? And there comes a group of gangsters and ready to break into your house. The cosmic tower can see it from the higher dimension. They will send an idea to the police station 5 kilometers away. Yeah, where we haven't been the last 5 years, maybe we go today this area. Yeah, and the police car comes just slowly, step by step, and sees a group of people there. And this group of people says, okay, today is a bad day, maybe next time, and they run away. Yeah. Something like this, you see, from the higher dimension, you can manage all events in the lower dimension. Yes. And our cosmic towers, we didn't even mention this. You see, but up to the 9th dimension, all the towers from the work in the 9th dimension, also from the 3rd, with the overtone of cars up to the 9th, complete spectrum, up to a size of 1.8 meter high. And the bigger ones, 220, 250, what you got for the United States, they are connected to the 11th dimension. Yeah, and mankind is actually caught here in the 3rd dimension for such a long time because the conquerors of our solar system, of a huge part of the galaxy, were the bosses up to the 7th dimension. So when you have a device working higher than the 7th dimension, you're also so and you can make sure that you have the right support. So that's very, very interesting.
And it's exciting, and we've been seeing that guidance.
Yeah,
it's amazing to watch it, how the right people come in and volunteer, and also the support in the United States. We're really happy with how people, even before the towers arrived, how they supported the project. And,
more and more people understand it.
yes.
Are also guided that they fund each other and help each other. Other people that belong not there, going out of the service and so on, and good people come. And especially also those people who are not just thinking for themselves. Yes, they are thinking for mankind or for a bigger picture. When people think just for themselves, what does it help them? And they survive, and mankind goes under, and then they will be also dead. It doesn't help them at all. And that's also the message maybe for the rich people. The rich people have good options to become rich. Sometimes in a way that was maybe not so good, or on the maybe shoulders of others. Or nature. Or nature. Yeah, right. So, but also they will be one day in front of the final judgment. And then there will be the question, what did you do for mankind? Okay, you lost all your money due to inflation, or they took it away from you. Maybe you should have helped something earlier, or something that would save mankind. Or so, okay, you didn't pass pain, that's it. This kind of souls will not survive. That will be the final step. So that will be for any living or human beings, not only here on Earth, but in the whole universe. It's a huge thing going on.
Well, I'm excited about the times ahead personally. Definitely with the help of the Cosmic Tower and the whole community and organizing around it, I see a bright future for humanity. So thank you for all your help. And I know how hard you work, and we really appreciate it.
We do our best. You as well. Many thanks.
Thank you, and thank you to everybody in the United States and all over the world supporting this project. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for more.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.